Like,
okay, good. Because I'm
yeah.
gonna sit here like trying to keep my boobs sweat.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
we're
already
good.
are.
Great, and 5 seconds in, we've already got boob sweat. Fantastic. This could not have been planned any better. Now I feel much more comfortable. Alrighty, so that's how this is how this campaign's gonna go. So, full
Don't die,
disclaimers.
Aries.
Full disclaimers for anybody that chooses to listen to this on the YouTube, coming to other platforms soon. TM. This is an older audience campaign. This will be gory. This will be edgy. This will be dark as sin itself. You have been warned. There will be what would be considered controversial topics throughout this year, primarily. Yes.
And foul language. Lots and lots
Lots
of
of
foul
foul
language.
language. This is literally an 18 plus campaign. So if you're not quite 18 or you're well under the age of 18, do yourself a favor, get to fuck.
And advisable for 21 plus because
Lots of innuendo. Lots.
In which endo?
Exactly. All the endo. Not only is that a lewd joke, that's also a drug joke. There we go. We will be partaking in the alcoholic beverages and the consumption of legal drugs, also known as THC. So if the atmosphere does get a little bit different midway through a session, that's
hashtag
exactly
sorry,
why.
not sorry.
That's exactly why. All right. So, what do you remember from your last session, Ash?
Me?
Yeah.
You killed my wifey.
I mean,
You gave me glitter chickens or like walking
oh,
butt plugs or whatever I called them. And then you tried to assassinate me and you killed my wifey as I was going down. Like, ugh.
that was
Cue
fun.
heartbreak mode. This is stage 1 of grief and denial and anger and heartbreak and sadness.
Yes, this is how this campaign starts, from the traumatic memories of people who have had their session 0, and about I think I think all of them have actually been shanked right off the bat, like full blown, straight up shank.
You gave me walking butt plugs.
The abyssal chickens.
Yeah, walking butt plugs.
And for those that can't see, our resident rogue just gave me the finger. We'll get to that story
Yeah.
soon. So, Ash, or
What is that character's name?
yeah, what is your character's name again? I forget. Orpheus. I knew it began. I nearly
My
called you.
name is Orpheus.
I nearly called you Orion for some reason, but you know, Orion's cool as well. So Orpheus, um, you you're still in the realm of somewhat half dead and are barely opening your eyes as you feel pebbles, not being maliciously thrown, but enough to hit you to try and grab your attention.
I am laying on my back. My arms are over my face. I can't quite feel my legs.
Yep,
Not
nope,
for any medical reason. My whole body is numb.
yep.
My soul, my heart, my mind, everything is just numb and non-functioning. I'm gonna pretend that mental thought process. I'm gonna pretend that this is not happening right now.
Okay.
Because to me, this is not happening. This can't be happening. That did not just happen. When did that happen? No.
At,
No.
at this point,
no.
you, because you feel like you've been unconscious for so long, you actually don't know when it happened at this point. You've literally lost time.
Right. No, I don't. No. No, 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 no. As the image of my fiance getting murdered replays in my head multiple times in slow mo, in fast mo, in every angle and depiction that my brain has concocted.
Do we want to share that with the people outside of this world and how that actually happened?
You can.
So, Orpheus's backstory
Eurydice,
is
my
very,
wifey.
very, very interesting. Um, she was. We'll get into more detail along the way, but the TLDR is she was in a sleeper hold,
No,
and
he was in a sleeper hold as
oh,
his
he,
wife was
sorry,
killed.
it's the adjustment from a female player playing a male character.
Get used to it.
Orpheus, yep, Orpheus was uh, in the heart of combat and was in a sleeper hold as he literally watched his wife get straight up spinal cord dissection.
And I got critically knifed in the kidney.
Yep, and then straight up prison shank. It was majestic.
It
The
was terrifying.
the
And I came up with it on my own, and I'm so mad at myself for that because it's such a great story, but
All right.
anyway, back in
Yep.
character.
So, um, Genie, the person you are pebble dashing doesn't seem to be paying any attention.
I need to know, like, are we in separate cells? Are we nearby? I don't actually understand the
Okay,
layout.
so you've been awake for a short period of time. You would know that you're in a cage, a singular one-person cage. Although, given that the fact that you're a halfling, you could probably fit maybe three or four, and it'd be very comfortable. It'd be like packing sardines into a can. Um, you you know that this is probably going to be the same way for the other person. That they're also going to be in a cage of a similar size. You know that it hangs about 10 feet off the floor.
That's why there's circles underneath us.
Yes,
Okay.
those are actually cages. Like if you were to move your token, you can actually see that it's an actual full-blown cage.
If you press Alt and move your token, you can line yourself up perfectly.
Yeah, back to Genie. And the cage that you're in, it's not very well maintained, although it seems to not show any signs of sabotage, just heavy rust. And it smells vile. Oxidized iron isn't really, so yeah.
So I'm gonna do a quick listen. Do I hear anybody in the halls?
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
10.
Um, Given the audio that I gave you guys to listen to earlier, for reasons I can't play during session, um, there is a lot of sound, and go on.
Uh, if you use, I'll send you a link for somebody's Patreon. They have free RPG music that can be used, and it should be able to be put on things.
Awesome. Um, Given the audio that you listened to earlier, you hear the sounds of scuttling of rats beneath your feet, the occasional swarm of bats. There's a lot of water or liquid drop, some sludgy, sloppy sounds in the distance, and it echoes a lot. So you can't you do hear footsteps, but you're not able to quite distinguish whether or not they're close or far, considering how much there is an echo.
So I concentrate this time on my pebble flinging and aim for the side of his head.
Okay. It's, I assume, a non-lethal attack.
Yeah.
Okay, so just go ahead and roll uh, an attack roll and do 1d4.
I just threw a d20 at my head to imitate it being a pebble, and it kind of hurt.
That's why I said 1d4.
I am not throwing a caltrop at the side of my head.
Yeah, no, please no. Oh shit!
Well,
Okay, well, the 7 does not hit. It actually misses. And all you hear is ting as it bounces off the bar on the cage, and the ting itself rings through the chamber.
That would have just given me a paper cut.
does
uh,
he respond?
at this point, Orpheus, you hear a loud ting, almost like the sound of a bell, but not quite as low.
Would
And
you knock it off?
There we go.
sorry, I didn't even know if you were conscious.
I would rather be dead.
Well, I could see how in these circumstances that could be true.
At this point as well, Orpheus, uh, you just see a grey version of a halfling, because
I'm
there
not
isn't.
looking over there. I'm staring at the ceiling.
In that case, you see just grey debris on the roof. It's literally ceiling debris
Slightly tinged blue.
with a little bit of blue.
Yeah. I'm Jeannie.
I don't care.
That's fair. That's fair. I get that.
Do you live in a bottle?
Um, no, I mean my family does like to drink, but I don't typically.
You gotta drink, and now I look over.
Okay.
Slowly.
You literally see the grey outskirts of your local surroundings, with a bit of dim light in the corner of the room. Uh, and in the cage, you literally see this cute, dirty looking halfling, and from where you see it, it's just shades of grey. But
I
she
mean,
cute and scruffy looking.
I
I
don't
mean,
care.
if I could take few minutes, I could probably maybe get some purified water, but it would take some effort. No, I don't have a drink. I'm sorry.
I look back to my front. And I start banging my head on the bar behind me. How much bludgeoning damage do I take?
How many times are you doing it?
About one a second until someone tells me to stop.
Okay, well, I'll let you know when somebody tells you to stop.
What? What? Why are you doing that? That looks painful.
Yep.
I mean, that's not good for you. You should maybe stop.
That's 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Living isn't good for me.
If we're doing it by IRL seconds.
Uh, I'm gonna just keep track of my health, not in Fantasy Grounds, because I can't click in that.
You can click in that, and then you can just type it.
Ah! Aha!
Yeah,
I got it!
it's a little. I mean, we can do IRL or we can do the 6 second rounds. You know what? We'll do the 6 second rounds because 15 is a little much right off the get go. And for people at home, there is now an adorable, fat, fluffy kitty on screen, so we are currently distracted by the pussy show.
It is literally the softest belly floof.
It's bring your pussy to work day, show and tell. All right, Orpheus.
How much damage did I actually take then?
We got 6. I'll do it by in-game seconds. So that action
Okay.
was like 6 seconds.
Because I'll just sit here and like knock my head back, pretending that I'm hitting metal bars until you tell me to stop or I pass out.
So his last statement, now we're back in game, I would respond with, "Why is that? I know this is rough, but it's not like the end of the world.
My world has been ended.
I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want to talk about it?"
No, I want to murder things.
Oh, well, that's gonna be a little difficult to do from a cage.
At this point, you
Rage.
at the oh Jesus Christ. At this point, just before you rage, at this point you hear the footsteps and a well armored figure approaches Orpheus's cage and starts saying, "Oh, looks like you're finally awake," and starts banging against the cage. Like
How
you were.
wide are the bars? How much
I
space do I have?
You could put your arm through, given that you're quite skinny but muscular. But you'd have a hard time retracting it.
I don't want to retract. I want to crush his throat.
Okay. Go ahead, make an attack roll. Actually, it'd be a grapple, so athletics check.
Skills, athletics, that's a strength based thing. I'm good at that. There's only one thing I'm better at. Actually, two. Never mind.
Okay, what'd you get? What'd you get?
I got a 20.
Total of 20.
No.
That's a nat 20 plus 2. Alright, alright. That's a fine way to start the campaign.
This
First
is a
roll.
great way to start the campaign.
First roll is a nat 20. Alright. So,
And I used my metal dice.
I used mine as well.
This will be my only nat 20 like ever.
Um, so as he's rattling the cage, he's like,
Squeeze.
and just like it's mere seconds because as he started rattling the cage and you grabbed his throat, you caught him off guard because of the rage. So go ahead and roll damage. It would be a 1d4, but because you crit, and we're doing it the Tower of
Villain's
Monsters
rule.
way. Yep, it's automatically max damage. So that's 4 plus the dice roll, total of 8. I'll say plus 2 on top of that. That's a 10.
Do
You
I
just
crush his windpipe?
you just see him. You don't even see the change in color. You just see his eyes bulge and roll back, and you as he just falls limp. He did.
Jeannie's just watching in horror.
And that's where I'll leave you two for now. Our
Also
adventure.
first-
Say again.
Also, first blood.
Yeah, also first blood. I didn't expect it, to be honest.
I told you we were going actual proper like grief reaction here.
Not a girl.
um, so our adventure takes us to the other end of the prison, and Beck, you find yourself in a similar described cage.
Can I interrupt one last time before it's not my turn to talk for a while?
Go on.
What's your full name?
My full name?
Yes.
Becky Diorn.
No, that says bikini.
Biki-
That's an beach.
There's no N in there. Anyway.
No, that's forever gonna be bikini.
Alright, Beck, you've been awake for some time, and you get given provisions, very, very bad quality level of provisions. Like, this is not enough to give you proper sustenance, but enough to make sure that you don't die. You, Dargo, what are we doing? Like, how are you holding up there, friend? Last we spoke, you received a rather tasty amount of ethereal chickens to the face and a knife to the back.
Am I passed out or am I awake right now?
You're somewhere in between.
I'm currently curled up in a ball.
Okay.
Just curled up in a ball in the bottom of the cage.
As far as you're aware, Beck, you're completely alone.
Yeah, lack of dark sight or low sight.
Yeah. You think
I
you're
don't know.
completely alone. You hear the sounds that we heard. Did you listen to the audio by any chance?
Did not get a chance to.
Okay. Um, every now and then you hear the shrill screams of people being tortured. And you hear the singing sound of when a weapon is drawn against the scabbard. Um, you you hear the occasional flock and swarm of bats. You hear the occasional, it's not even occasional at this point. It's rather a steady flow of some liquid. It could be water, it could be blood, it could be sludge, it could be whatever. You just hear it trickling and traveling down drains. Where you are currently, it is not a friendly place.
And every once in a while, you'll hear a purr just in the background.
That one sound that you do hear, which is the occasional purr, that is contradictory to your current surroundings. That stands out.
All right. Set him in a cage, right?
Uh-huh.
And I can see that light in the distance. Does it look like it's in the same room?
Yeah, it is. It's very much in the same room. It's where you are, from what you can see, where the light is. There is about 10 feet of space beyond that, and that would be the end of the room. Towards the south east-ish corner from where you currently are, you can see like a corridor that leads elsewhere.
Am I able to locate any kind of locking mechanism on the cage?
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
I got a nat 20.
Apparently, this is how we're starting it. All right, you do find one, but it seems to be pretty rusted shut. Like it's a prison standard padlock for from what you can gather and what you can feel. But you also feel that it's very well maintained and the rust has pretty much locked it completely.
All right. I'm going to breathe on it.
Okay.
Ice dragon?
Ice dragon.
Oh, of course. Of course. Alright, so that would be your breath weapon, correct?
I ma'am.
Alright.
Jess,
Uh-huh.
if that cat is in the cone,
Um,
depends on where that lock is.
that's actually a very good point. Yes, yes. It's a 15-foot cone, correct?
Yeah.
The
I think
cat's
so.
out of range. The cat is out of range. So, go ahead. It's just DC saving throw, 8 Constitution. What is your DC?
It's a lock. I don't know how it would make the save to.
All right, go ahead and roll damage then. At that point, we'll just say go ahead and roll damage, which is 2d6. Apparently, we're not fucking about. We want to break the fuck out tonight.
That's a total of 11.
All right. As you do, the cat next to you feels a slight chill as you breathe frost-like breath, and you can hear the sound of the ice grow and wrap itself around the lock, and it becomes completely solid stiff.
As
Uh,
that's going on and the ice is getting blown, my ears are just starting to twitch,
mhm.
as if it's starting to wake me up.
What are we doing next?
If
Back.
the lock didn't shatter outright after taking the 11 damage, then I would try kicking at the door.
I mean, when you did hear the lock give some way, you did hear it crack in places. It wasn't enough to completely shatter it, but it was enough to heavily damage it to the point of it's not really considered a lock anymore. It's more of an object of inconvenience.
So
So
a solid kick or a thump
pretty
with a
much, yeah,
tail would bust the door open.
yep, pretty much. So go ahead and I would say strength check for this because it's going force against the door.
Don't hate me, Jess.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
I used a different die. The first one was on the red die. The second one was on the green die.
Alright, okay, so I'm not saying I'm suspicious, but apparently we have some leprechauns shoved up some buttholes here. Cause that's 3 nat 20s in a row.
I'm good. I've got my metal die.
Alright, so you sit back as far as you can in the cage where your foot's still in range. You summon up whatever strength you have left, and you give it a good old toe bang. You do take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you do it, but the door you hear as the cage door rolls and eventually ends up hitting the wall. JD, what are we doing? You hear the sound of somebody breaking free.
I lift my head up and I start looking around
You
to see like if I can actually.
you see at this point a silver dragonborn in very shabby looking clothes. Consider them like the undergarments. I'll be nice, and I'll make sure that you guys have undergarments and are completely stark bollock naked.
I have fur.
Well, yeah, you have fur, but he doesn't. Uh, um, start to make his way out of the cage.
How tall is the cage?
Um, it's about 5 feet, but it's also 10 feet off the ground. It's hanging from the ceiling.
Okay, so it's not tall enough that I could fully stand in. Okay.
I mean, you can. It's just going to be very cramped.
I'm 6'5". I won't be able to stand in a 5 foot
As I
tall
said, you'd be
area.
cramped. It'd be hunched.
I call out to him saying, "What are you doing?"
Stretching my legs. Where are you calling me from?
I'm up here in the other cage.
You're gonna have to be more descriptive than that.
I'm to your right. I'm hanging in the cage to your right.
Yeah. I can't see. It's too dark. Give me a minute. Is the light that's on the wall that I can see something that I can pull down? Or like is it like a torch that I can grab out of like a
It
sconce or something?
the actual fastening, the actual sconce itself is kind of nailed to the wall, but you can extract the torch.
Okay, we'll do that. There you are.
Can you help me get out of said cage? Because I see you got out of yours.
Can you breathe a cone of cold?
Uh, no. I'm a cat. I'm at the back. I can't breathe cold.
I won't be able to do that again until the next time I take a rest.
Is there
Yeah.
any way you can find me something that I can pick the lock with?
What kind of a thing would you need? Would like splinters of wood help, or maybe a broken door? I don't know if there's any bits you can pry off the door to make a lockpick with.
If you come over, can you see the lock and see how big the area is where the key would go in? Or if you go around, can you find a key to the lock? Because I would just need something either small enough to fit in the keyhole or find a key.
I guess I would need to make a check to see what kind of a hole I would be trying to fill.
Alright, that's where we'll leave you two for now. So one has broken free and is mid conversation. We're gonna go back over to Genie and Orpheus. What's up with you two?
I'm going to start with the body that I have in my hand and start pulling his head into the cage to try to break myself out.
That's disgusting.
Yes,
That is absolutely disgusting.
yes.
Hey, well, you're not gonna do us any good if you end up dropping him.
I can get out on my own.
So, if what I'm hearing correctly, you want to try and
I want to use this head as an improvised bludgeoning device.
you wish to behead an already deceased guard.
No, I want to use his head and his body as an improvised bludgeoning device because I have my hand crushed around his windpipe.
Okay, you're gonna have to be thoroughly descriptive with this in order for this to
Okay.
even come across as an attempt.
Okay, content warning.
They were warned at the beginning.
Every time I do something gory, I will do that.
Fair enough. I appreciate it.
My hand is through the bars. My dominant hand is through the bars. My fingers are now gripped so tightly around his windpipe, I have shattered his windpipe, and there is no blood flow. I
This
will
is correct.
force my left arm through to grab the other side and use all of my rage, because I did rage at the start
You
of
did,
this,
yes, this is true.
to pull his body towards me and break myself out.
Okay. First and foremost, you are enraged, and I would like you to make a strength check with advantage because you get that with rage, I believe.
My second roll was an 18.
All right. So, unluckily for you,
So that's a dirty 20.
the higher that you rolled, the worse it gets. Because as you force your non-dominant hand through the bars, it goes through the bars so hard you're almost shoulder, and it's very difficult to pull back.
So I've bent the bars to force my arm through there.
In a way, but you're also stuck.
I'm stuck either way.
So you have your non-dominant hand through the bar, as if you have your non-dominant hand through the bar, like it's a very ill-proportioned maneuver. Your dominant hand, although holding the heavier of the weight, you don't quite manage to get the angle that you need to even possibly try and bend the bars in or whatever. At this point, you just say thud, 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 as the as the dead body slowly begins to get abrasions and start bleeding. Genie.
My roommate.
Can I throw up for a second? So, can I see the stereotypical loop of keys on this guy's belt?
Go ahead and make an investigation check with disadvantage because you currently can't quite grasp the eye needed because it's currently being crammed against the bars of the cage every 2 seconds.
I warned you my himbo was going to be problems the first few sessions.
That's 15.
You do see something shiny, but you're not quite. You do see something glimmer in the light, but you're not sure if it's keys.
Hey, 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 buddy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If you end up dropping him, he's no good to us. I might be able to lift the keys. We can just walk out.
He's no good to me now.
And at this point, your rage is ended because of the restrictions of rage is.
Meanwhile, I'm like wiping the gore off as much as I can.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a quote unquote splash damage. There's a little bit of AoE going on there.
As my rage ends, I look down with this immense, like, harrowing sadness in my eyes, seeing what's in front of me and what I've just done.
Yeah, it looks pretty fucked up. I'm not gonna lie to you, Arrowface. You went from barely conscious to Hulk smash to sad in all of the space of 12 seconds. So with you being still and finally quiet enough for Genie to focus, you do see that the shiny object is not a set of keys. It is, in fact, the end of his blade, as he was just carrying a dagger.
Okay, well, I have Thorn Whip as cantrip, and Thorn Whip allows me to pull things uh, within as far as 10 feet. So, in theory, I could pull this guy up to me and investigate that belt.
You also probably would have picked up on the fact that this man is very unstable and you might want to take the sharp weapon away from him.
That was on my mind, yes, but I wasn't going to say it out loud.
Because in my head, I've put myself in Orpheus's mind, and he's looked down, saw this sharp weapon, and thought that could go through my face.
You didn't see this.
Yeah, you're busy looking at the blood and
You
guts
were
with your
you
hands.
you were
Okay.
you were too busy pissed off smashing this guy's dead skull in.
Okay.
No, I'm quite alarmed actually at my cellmate and very concerned. And also, I can't do anything from this cage, so I would like to try Thorn Whip so I can drag him away from the scary barbarian guy, and I would like
Okay.
to see what I can off him.
You're gonna perform two things for me. So describe to me how Thorn Whip works.
One moment, please.
And so, as part of his looking at his hands and what he's just done in disgust, he's going to drop the body. And start crying.
Okay. Himbo in
So
tears, got it.
So Thorn Whip's got a 30-foot range.
Okay.
It's instant cast.
Okay.
And it's basically a melee attack. Not that it matters because the guy's dead. But if the creature is considered large or smaller than large, I can pull it up to 10 feet closer to me.
Well, considering the body has just been dropped to the floor, that would make the distance a total of 20, considering you are 10 feet off the ground. And he's also 10 feet away from you. So, Pythagoras theorem.
Well done, barbarian. But still within my 30-foot range. So
Yes.
I can grab him with this and pull him to me, but that's only dragging him 10 feet.
Yeah. So he would be in front of you, but you wouldn't be able to lift him 10 feet off. That would require another.
It is cantrip, though. So
Yes.
I'll just do it twice and bring him up to me.
Okay. So at this point, I would like you to make a strength check, as you are basically trying to lift the literal definition of dead weight
Fair. Very fair.
with said whip.
I'm gonna roll my actual dice.
This is the definition of fishing in prison.
Yeah, this is awful too because I have a -1 modifier.
Yep.
I got 18 though, so that's 17.
Okay. So as you're breaking a sweat, lifting this dead weight off the ground, you lift him 2 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, 6, 7.5, and he begins to slip. He's still there, but he's slipping, and you've got to react fast. Your arm would be long enough.
Okay, then I'm reaching for the sword, the shiny thing.
Okay. Uh, as the cantrip of the whip fades, your hand managed to grab him by the belt, and you are now carrying said dead weight with one arm out of the cage.
This is a sight, I'm sure.
In my head, it's perfect.
um,
You hear the grunts and the as they're trying to lift up said body.
can I
Lift with your knees.
to remove shiny object from said belt?
Um, that would require another hand.
Oh, I've got two hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Use your feet.
I'm only like 3 feet long.
She tiny thing. She's small bean.
No?
And her current position is with her face to the ground, with one arm out, holding this thing by its belt.
Stick your foot through the bottom and try to grab things with your toes. If you're a halfling, you have long toes.
Not that long.
This is a bit much. I'm just gonna drop the fucker.
That was out of character.
Alright.
Okay? My brain was like immediately.
I was gonna
went to
say, 'cause if that was
bad
in
stuff.
character, I would make Genie take psychic damage due to the idiocy of said statement.
Just in this case, it's Graph takes psychic damage.
Alright, so with a thunk, she's dead weight on the floor. And at this point, you hear another set of footsteps approach. Very similar to the way that this one was dressed. He looks down, over at Genie, and looks at the body. Then looks back at Genie. Looks over at Orpheus.
I wave, by the way.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna get hurt.
Go ahead.
No.
I will allow this one. Go ahead. How are you waving? Like innocently?
Yeah, adorably. Like
Okay. You're technically not lying, but it's still deceiving the fact that you're trying to break out. So go ahead and roll me a deception check.
oh, I was going for charisma. Okay, hold on.
That is charisma.
It is. It is charisma based.
Can I try to intimidate him?
Hold on. 18. You just you stand there in your cage and you go with a big shit-eating grin on your face as if you didn't do anything. He looks over back at Orpheus and you're trying to intimidate him. How are you doing it?
Big angry man covered in blood. Also, wails of the heartbroken, big angry man covered in blood.
Go ahead and roll an intimidation check for me.
Okay, I'm trained in that.
What'd you get? 19.
I rolled a 19.
Okay.
That's with a +6.
Damn. Alright. He looks at you, raises a finger, and nope. Turns back round and walks the opposite direction. And he turns around and says, I value my. He says, what languages do you understand, Genie?
Dwarvish, Draconic, Druid, Common, and Halfling.
He says this in um, Draconic. I value my life today. That poor bastard probably got what he deserved. I'm not being here. I did not see this. I will not report this. This is too much for me right now. This is my first fucking day.
So he's.
So I answer back in Draconic, by the way.
Okay.
Said, probably a good idea. Maybe take a smoke break.
So he's the imposter.
He then pops his head round the corner.
I wave again.
I gotta lay off the drugs. Fuck. And just walks off. He's in disbelief that a halfling could possibly know Draconic at this point,
Or have dropped a dead body.
or have dropped a dead body. We're gonna leave you two there.
Or killed the thing.
Yes, we're gonna leave you two there. Back over to Beck and JD.
How did my investigation of the lock go?
Oh, of JD's luck. His luck seems to be a little more intact. Again, same level, same standard as your own. So the key that you, if you were to find a key, or use something as a lockpick, it'd have to be um, a pretty thick instrument. Um, as you were investigating the lock, though, what was your role actually?
We made it. We were discussing making it, and I
Oh,
was like, "Well, I should probably look at this and see if what we would need." And then we cut scene.
yeah. And what did you roll for it?
I got an 18 plus 3.
Alright, so as you were investigating this, that's what the conclusion you came up with. And in the distance, you actually saw um, a previous occupant of this cat's cage just sat there, dangling from like its lower half, dangling from the ledge, with its arms kind of using it as a support, kind of locked in between his shoulders, or what would be his shoulders. And he looks like he had a few cracked ribs.
Sucks for that guy.
And when I mean
Wait,
cracked
so
ribs, I mean like full blown. You can see the
we're missing
ins
ribs?
where a well naturally because it's a skeleton, but you can see it's cracked, but it's not fully off. But it's quite a severe crack, almost borderline broken.
Beck will wander over to said poor chap and see if there's anything that looks like it might be small enough to fit into the lock. If there is, he's going to help it help us.
You go, make an investigation check on this poor bastard.
It ends up being a total of 22.
All right. Um, you see that with the hand hanging off, you see a singular lockpick.
Yeah, I'll take that.
All right.
Get back over to my furry friend.
Yep.
Well,
JD.
I reach out and grab it and I say, "Thank you." And because I would need something to go, because it's just the lockpick itself. I would need
It's
something
it's
to.
it's a full blown thing.
Okay.
It's a full blown thing. It
So
came
so
it came in like two parts. He was holding it. So you had the
okay.
little hook and the other part.
I would like to try and lockpick the.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check. Very small portion of me wishes for you to roll a natural one, just so I
That's a
could.
19.
All right. Um, as you crack your neck and the fingers, you get the dexterity flow back in your fingers as you took this off, and it feels natural, and you just sit there for no more than 6-7 seconds, and you're the click of one, click of two, and then clink, and the lock is picked, and the mechanism that holds it together is now dangling. You literally have a dangling padlock.
Still got it.
so I understand why you're now then.
Yeah. I proceed to take the lock off thing in open hatch. Well, that probably brought people's attentions.
You do hear a set of footsteps come your way, and they seem to be quite heavy footsteps. You have mere moments to react.
I'm gonna grab the femur bone or whatever the long bone in the leg is off of the lower half of the body's not there. Never mind. The long bone in an arm, like from
All right.
maybe
Go ahead, make a strength check with advantage because it's in a dead skeleton.
19.
You now have a broken femur bone.
Can
That's
I jump?
on the bottom half of the body.
Yeah, we're talking about from elbow to shoulder. That is, I forget.
I know which one you meant.
This one.
Still pointing
Yeah.
bone shard.
Yeah, you hear the snap.
Joe and I should know that.
You should. This body is fairly old. The bones are slowly decaying. It doesn't take much, and you snap. So you now have a sharp bone.
While he's doing that, can I jump out of my cage and jump over onto this?
Yeah, sure. It's not very big. It takes you hop up like any cat would hop up on the chair at home. And that is that is the waste barrel for when prisoners are allowed to go potty. There is a
Can
lid
I
on it. There
take
is a
a-
lid on it at the moment, so
Hmm,
it's fine. So you hear is the sloshing sound of the contents inside. It's like when you've done that, the smell kind of leaks just a little bit, and it smells absolutely putrid.
I pinch my nose.
In fact, I'm gonna ask you to make a Constitution saving throw. You violently gag, like full blown dry heave, and you
Oh,
feel slightly dizzy for just a few moments, but you manage to gain composure as the footsteps grow closer, and as you see the shadow on the wall crawl up the wall, you and he turns the corner. What happens? At this point, he's not quite had a chance to react, so this would be a complete surprise, considering he's expecting you to both be in cages. He does see the fact that there is a cell door, but he's only expecting one.
So is that bone thing that Wick or Beck took? Is that more like a club or more like a shield?
I'm gonna give you either because one side is club worthy, the other side is broken to the point where you could shiv a bitch.
And on quick inspection, without any kind of like actual effort at looking at the guy,
Uh huh.
does he look armored or does he
He
look
he does he does have a set of armor. He's not quite he doesn't quite have um thick metal armor. This is more of a leather like armor with a couple of torture tools around him. You know just by basic look, he's a piece of shit.
does he have a helmet?
No. He wears basically like an executioner's mask.
Good, we're gonna use it like a club, bludgeon the shit out of the guy.
Alright, this is your surprise round, so go ahead and make an attack roll. Anything above a 13 will hit.
Well, I rolled 17, and I don't know what it would have been for
Alright,
a
so
club.
you're clubbing him, it's an improvised weapon. It would be 1d4 plus 2. And I assume you're going for a knockout.
Yeah, but I
Okay,
also did call. So, was there any kind of modifiers or anything with that?
um, it's a club improvised, so it's 1d4 plus 2. I'll give you your strength modifier as well.
That's plus 0.
So, completely out of nowhere, flunk, and he's dazed. He's not quite down, but he's dazed. Over to you, JD.
I want to pounce with claws extended and slash.
Okay, go ahead, make an attack roll. So D20, yep, D20 plus your dexterity modifier. What'd you get?
21.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage. So your claws are actually classed as a weapon, but it's a simple weapon, so it's 1d4 plus what?
Uh,
I
my
believe you
beard
got a
doesn't
little. I believe you got
have any.
extra. Where are we? JD. Abilities, inventory. Hold on. Actions. cat's claws. It was a 1d4 plus something, I believe. Mordekainen's, right? No, it's Volo's. Give me a hot second. We will consult the oracle. So you rolled a 4 on the dice.
Mhm.
All right. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I am. It's been a little bit of a hot minute since I last DM'd. It's definitely not the intro that I expected, nor did I have planned. By this point, y'all would have still been in your fucking cages.
Your players are enjoying it too.
Good. Alright. So that's 109, 113, Tabaxi, Tabaxi names, Cat's Claws, speed of 20 feet, natural weapons, 1d4 plus your strength modifier. Instead of the bludgeoning damage of normal for an unarmed strike. So, yeah, it's piercing damage, sorry, slashing damage, and it's 1d4
Mhm.
plus your strength.
Which is 0, so 1d4.
Okay, so that's a total of 4 damage, and you say you feel the leather actually get a couple of tears in it, and at this point he kind of just falls limp as blood slowly begins to seep from the abrasions, and is now trickling down the corridor in which he came.
I lick my claws.
That's disgusting.
I'm a cat.
That's also natural. Alright, that's where we'll leave you two. Back over to the original duo. So, you, after this rather brief yet engaging conversation in Draconic with one of the guards, what are we doing?
I turn over and look very shocked at the little one.
You see
Like that snaps me out of my crying.
you see a very shocked elf looking creature.
Maybe we should start again. Hi, I'm Jeannie.
Continues to stare blankly, very confused how that language came out of such a small.
And you know that Draconic is like the German. It sounds harsh.
It's the exact opposite of the non-common language I know, because the non-common I know is celestial.
It's very harsh sounding, and there's a lot of growl and gruff to it.
Yes, I'm quite aware. I love picking Draconic.
I was giving that to um
The
Orpheus
listeners.
So
and the listeners.
I continue as though
As
not
though
even-
there's not a blank shocked face on his face.
I am a druid halfling from the plains, and I don't know how long I've been in here, but I think I've worked out that the stupid guards at the gate took me out because I was trying to get into the city and I didn't have the money, so I snuck in, and that's basically as far as I've worked out what happened. My head hurts a little. You look like you're in some pain. We should maybe perhaps get out of here. And this guy, I point down to the corpse. This guy might be a problem soon.
You talk a lot.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to stop. I just words happen and they come out, and then I get more excited, and then more words I see that. Okay, I should stop. I'm sorry.
I'd like to provide some context to your listeners. Graf and I are very good friends, and we've been very good friends
I
for a
have
really long time.
for more additional context, I have very carefully handpicked specific individuals for this campaign based on out of game relationship. And it's going to be, if this is a reflection and an insight to future sessions, You guys are in for a hell of a ride.
Jeez.
All right,
So I
so
stop talking and I'm like super red faced and looking down.
you suddenly feel a little warmer in this incredibly cold environment. You feel the blood rush to your cheeks.
I love that. I love that. There's no need to be embarrassed. You just talk a lot.
I nod, biting my lips.
You got sent to this place for breaking and entering?
I mean, there wasn't any breaking, it was just entering, and I didn't even enter. I barely even made it past the gates. So no? Question mark?
I pull my knees up to my chest and just put my arms over my knees and put my head where my arms are
I would
and just
say
shake my head.
I would say you felt a little bit of warmth, but considering you have pretty much woken up from death's doorstep and you've lost a lot of blood, you don't really necessarily feel the same warmth from the rest of your
Why would I
body
feel warm?
because it's just the blood.
Oh, it's somebody else's blood.
You feel a degree warmer.
And I start silently crying, but like I'm obviously my shoulders are obviously heaving up and down like very slowly, like I'm trying to control it.
Okay.
Are you okay? Did I say something wrong? I'm sorry. We should really try to get out of here, though. It's gonna get worse for us soon. As soon as they figure out what we've done.
It's fine for you.
I don't understand. I'm.
Good job picking up that dead body.
Thank
And
you.
I'm gonna punch the bars.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Please give me another one. Please do it again. Please. I'm gonna take a bite of shawarma while I roll.
Okay.
For good luck.
Bullshit.
What's my modifier?
For strength,
Okay, dirty 20 then.
dirty 20.
Not a
Alright.
natural, but a dirty.
Alright. Given the condition of these bars, the rust that has gathered has become very rough and sharp in some areas. So as you punch, and with some force, you actually deal a little bit of damage to your knuckles. In fact, you go ahead and you take 4 points of piercing damage as your knuckles suddenly turn a nasty shade of purple and have orange bits around the cuts and inside the cuts. Although you did hear the bar give a little bit of a sound.
And do it again. Kind of flurry of blows like, but not really flurry of blows like.
Go ahead and make another attack roll with the same fist.
No, other one.
Okay. So this is the non-dominant hand this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a 17. Is it still the strength mod?
Still the strength
Oh, sorry,
mod.
that was a 22 last time, not
Okay,
a dirty 20.
that's fine.
So that makes a 21 this time.
Okay. Given the fact it's not quite a dominant hand, you still hit it with the same amount of force. And again, the same thing happens. You
Another 4
take
points of damage.
you take 1 point this time because although you hit it with the same force, you didn't quite land it the way you wanted to, as you're not really used to punching with that hand, and it kind of
I mean,
skims. but it still
I'm a
hits.
gladiator. I'm used to punching with both hands, but I'm used to also using a battle axe.
Friend, if you're gonna try to break out, maybe you should try your legs. They're probably stronger.
You're smart.
Thank you. I scoot to the back of my cage like that makes any difference whatsoever because this guy's kind of scary and makes blood splatter.
Alright, with that,
Oh, sorry, it is
But I
a +2. Never mind. I was looking at my save value.
yeah, no worries. So what are you doing with that information?
I'm gonna stop and think for a minute. Like, thinking does me any good, because I'm dumb.
Okay. I would like you for the shits and grins of it at this point. Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Why?
Well,
I'm
Because
not
you're
thinking
thinking.
to change my mind. Are you, are you gonna make me take mental damage?
No, I'm just asking you to make an intelligence check.
15. I rolled a 16.
All right, so you know exactly what she meant by that.
So I know what my legs are.
You know what your legs are, and you know that your legs are actually indeed stronger. Given the fact that how built you are, you put two and two together to make, you know what? No, that actually makes sense.
Orpheus did not skip leg day.
So,
Can I roll the shiny?
are you using your legs this time?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go ahead and roll a
I'm
d20.
using both of them.
All right, go ahead and roll make an attack roll. Strength, yeah, strength, yeah. So it's still the same either way.
I rolled a 19.
Jesus
So
Christ, the
21.
19s and the 20s are real today.
I've rolled a 17, 18, 19, and a 20 tonight. I'm good.
All right, so it's very very cramped for you. You get far back as much as you can in said cage, and you pull your knees up to as much as you can. It takes a few times, but you do hear the fucking door crack.
Oh, good, because my next thing was to grab the top of the cage and try to body slam the bottom of it.
So you do hear, and you actually see bits of rust fly off and just float down to the bottom into the pool of blood. Um, you do see a very thick crack in what would be uh the door.
Am I able to stand in this cage? Or am I too big?
How tall are you?
Gigantic.
You're like what, 6?
I'm freaking huge.
You're like 6'7", 6'3", right?
I don't remember where I put that.
Well, considering these are 5 feet from ground to top of cage, um, it's it's a bit of a uncomfortable. You're almost hunchback. It's like watching a 6'5" dude try and walk underneath a 5-foot doorway.
I'm gonna grab the top of it,
Okay,
pull my legs up,
okay.
and kick outward.
Go ahead and make another strength check with advantage.
Okay, that was a 9. That was a 14.
As you swing to get the momentum required, you actually cut your hand on a bit of the sharp rust, and you lose grip and fall back down to the bottom of the cage.
Does my body falling have any impact on the bottom of the cage and the integrity of it?
No, but you do feel the cage go about a foot lower as you feel bits of rust from the chains float down onto your head.
I'm gonna get stuck on the ground, stuck in this cage.
Hey, Jess.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna look up that chain. What? How is this thing secured?
Kind of like a chandelier. Kind of like how you would see a chandelier. So you've got the base, at the top of the ceiling, but this room is about 10 feet high. So from where you
That
are,
means
I'd say there was say again, sorry.
it's got to be more than that if we're 10 feet off the ground.
So it's about 30 feet high.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
my bad. Thank you for picking me up on that. It's about 30
Yeah.
feet high, and you see the base of it like you would a chandelier, and then you see the chains link, and you see that a few of them are not quite as secure as they once were, given the fact that
Okay.
this area isn't really. They don't usually put prisoners in here. So what you have gathered so far, given that the state of the prison that you're in is, you know, worse than thrifty store quality.
What's the ceiling made of?
It's black. You can't really tell. It's just completely black. You see, I believe I always get confused with these two. It's stalagmites that hang from the ceiling, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
You just see black stalagmites of material you can't quite make out. It is very dull in areas, but also a little bit shiny here and there.
Okay, so hey, you've broken some of those links up there. If you did that again, you might just fall to the ground, and I don't know if that would shatter your cage, but at least you'd be on the ground.
You're the smart one.
All right, go ahead and roll the same again for me. Go ahead and make a strength check. On attack
That was a
roll.
19 on the die.
All right. This time
So 21.
you dust yourself off, the dust off your head.
I don't dust myself off.
Really? Okay,
I'm
no.
not aware of my
That's
physical appearance.
that's completely fine. That is completely and utterly fine. Aries, I don't want to see that smirk from you. So you stand up from the cage, you put your hands right around the handlebars again, and you start swinging. And the momentum builds faster and faster and faster, and then boom, you kick, but you fall, and one of the links in the chain actually, in fact, do snap, and you plummet to the floor, taking 7 points of bludgeoning damage
Ashley doesn't like this game.
just from the sheer impact.
Orpheus is fine.
I'm covering my ears because oh my god.
That when you do fall, you do hear a loud, dull clang that echoes throughout the entire chamber, and from what you can possibly maybe even tell beyond, that was not quiet and might attract some attention.
I'm not the smart one in this relationship.
So as soon as my ears stop ringing, I'm gonna say, okay, that's going to bring guards and fast. Can you get out?
I don't know, Jess, can I?
Can you?
Did the cage get damaged at all with the fall?
Um, a couple of bent bars, given the fact that you're what 250 pounds of pure muscle, yet 6'3", and the cage falling 10 feet from the air to the ground with rust. I'd say there was a couple of bent.
Hey Siri, flip a coin. Okay, I'm gonna try to punch my way out, not bend my way out.
Okay,
I got tails. Sorry, the smart idea was heads.
okay. How many times are you punching it?
As many times as it takes to break it open.
Perfect. Okay.
Nat 20.
I'm gonna say roll at disadvantage because you're currently prone.
I just threw my die off.
Because you are currently prone. You are literally lying in a cage on the floor that is not upright.
Oh, I'm gonna get up first, and then I'm gonna punch my
You
way
can't really stand up. At this point, the
Oh.
cage is not upright. It's horizontal. If you were to stand up, you'd be in a ball.
That was a 17.
Plus 2, 19. Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
Uh,
1d4 because it's fists.
I'm your favorite Caltrop. There you are, my pretty.
Of course you are, Aries.
2.
Okay. 2. Okay. You see bits of rust come off. So for each time that you punch it, it's a separate roll with
Do I have?
disadvantage.
Okay.
This is a whole lot of rolling.
So that lowest was 10.
Okay. So that'd be a
Do I roll
total of
damage?
12. No. Oh, you already rolled twice?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a... Yeah, roll damage.
4.
Alright. A crack appears in one of the bars.
18, 14.
Hits.
So 16.
Okay, hits.
4.
Fuck. Again, this crack is it's a louder crack, and you see bits and pieces chip away and fall. Alright, go ahead and make a strength check.
I'm trying to force it now.
Yep. Actually, that's athletic, so it's still strength.
Oh,
just add-
it is still strength.
You just add your athletics
no.
thing to it. So that's still a plus 2.
Okay.
22?
20.
30, 20. Alright. You take a deep breath, and with just pure brute force, the bars bend and just snap. You now have about 5 feet of space.
I get out.
It's a squeeze.
I force my way out.
So
I
on the
just
times,
rock my way down.
no. Okay,
and
so
then,
the times. So how many times did you punch? It was a total of 3, right?
Since I fell, I hit it twice since I've fallen, and then I forced it open.
Okay, so I will take I'll take the second highest. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Now I'm hurting.
What that was basically 1d4 for each punch, and your hands are now completely and utterly orange. And
Now I'm hurting.
and rust has made its way into your abrasions, and it hurts like a bitch.
For context, listeners, I have
Excuse
the
me.
highest health in the party,
Mm.
and presently I do not.
No, you're currently on death's door. Mm-hmm. All right. For shits and giggles, so you're squeezing your way out. You take another point of damage as the rust scrapes already given abrasions, and the cut from where you got stabbed is where it hurts the most, and you can feel the brittleness and the rust slowly just graze past it as you roar and scream your way out, because it is very fucking tight.
You hurt my heart.
I know. I'm gonna be that kind of DM.
Quick, search the body, see if you can find keys, and get that sword.
That's where we're gonna leave you two there. That was actually a very, very good spot for you two to be left there for a bit. We've probably just spent probably about 20 minutes for you trying to break out of a fucking cage with brute sheer force. That was mildly entertaining. Alright. For the record, she just flipped me off. So, back to you two, uh, Beck and JD. You currently have a corpse with blood rolling down the corridor in between the brickwork.
Search the body, see if there's anything useful.
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
18 total.
All right. As you rummage around with one hand with torch in the other, you do come across multiple crude and blunt equipment, knives, spikes, all kinds of just pure torture, and you could tell that these would be used for said torture, and they're not sharp because it inflicts more pain that way.
Hey, I don't know your name. My name's Beck. Do you do the stabby stabby or the hitty hitty? Like, are you gonna punch things? Like, how does this work?
You're muted.
Headphones, maybe.
Yeah. As you say stabby stabby, you just see me start clicking my nails together.
And the tail, if it wasn't enough of a tail already, just starts dancing.
All right. Well, you can have these sharp pokey sticks. I am going to hold on to my bone here, I guess, for the time being. Um, was there any keys or anything else?
Um, you don't really see any keys. He's not the one who locks people up. He's the one that deals the pain. You can tell by the way he actually presented himself upon approach. He was of some importance. So it would be kind of clear that he wouldn't be the one to do such dirty work. Ironically enough.
All right. Anything else that might be useful that I would want to take, or
That's it. At this point, the armor isn't really. It was more for show than actual armor, and the cat kind of already clawed that.
yeah, when you said armor and leather, I just imagined one of those really nasty, gnarly, like leather aprons, like
Yep,
a blacksmithing apron or something.
yep.
Really armor, but
That's pretty much how that was.
um, can you help stuff this under that bench over there?
Yeah.
All right, so both of you go ahead and make a strength check. Actually, athletics first to make sure it gets there. I'll give you advantage because there's two of you.
Uh, First one was a 2, second one was a 13, so that would be 19.
Okay, and what did you get, Beck?
And then an 11, and then a 12, and I have a modifier of 0.
Okay,
Oh, wait, you said athletics. That would
yes.
be 13 then.
Okay.
Sorry.
Um, and so it takes you a couple of minutes. This is dead weight, and he was by no means a small character. Um, as you're instead of lifting him up and moving him, you basically play roly poly as you roll him onto one side and then the other. When you get to the bench, he's a little too big to fit under the bench and might require extra effort. You might need to break a few things. So
I mean,
as you actually like push him in, he his head, shoulders, and lower torso go in, but it's one of those situations where it's not quite enough, and there's like maybe half a foot left. So just a little bit past the bench.
Does it look like we could maybe like hoist him onto the bench to like curl him up like he was sleeping on the bench in a room that was emptied?
Sure. I mean, yeah. So again, joint effort. You lift him up and you position him as if he was taking a nap, which he is. He's taking a dirt nap. All right. What are we doing?
Um, Based on the skill set you've displayed thus far, uh, I still don't know your name. Um, what was your name?
Uh, Drago, but you can call me JD.
Great, makes it easy. All right.
Yeah.
Based on your skill set, I imagine that you might forgive the phrase, but are you a cat burglar?
I'm gonna give you a D10 inspiration die for that.
Check character notes. Awkward conversation is my jam.
But to answer your question, in some people's eyes, yes.
All right. Well, I have this torch and can't see without it. So that basically makes me a walking beacon in this place, it looks like. Maybe you should go ahead and scout things out a little bit in front of us before we just go walking down this hallway.
That I can do.
All right. Feel free to move your token. I will say this, as there is now ample light source before you leave. Your surroundings, as far as the ground is concerned, very ill looked after brickwork, stone brick, and you see bits of dried blood, uh, just slime, pustules, unnatural growth, moss, just all over the place. It's absolutely vile. And you still the fresh blood stands out from the dried blood, and it just kind of like links its way down, and it goes down as far as the eye can see.
Okay. So I'm going to walk down this way a little bit.
Okay.
Are these just like poles or like
The they're actually bars, but these are well looked after bars. These are
okay.
top tier. From the distance that you're at, they kind of look like they're made to keep people out or keep
Okay.
something in.
Because I know we're in a prison, would I be able to do a stealth roll to see if like how sneakily I am moving around?
What's your modifier?
For stealth, +8.
Okay. Now, I'm going to pull an Ash here of what we do in Pathfinder. Because
That's not pulling me. That's the Pathfinder rules.
that's the Pathfinder rules. I really dislike it, but it gives me a little bit of pleasure to do this because it makes life just a little bit extra difficult for my players. Your stealth roll will be a secret roll that the DM will make, but I will be adding your modifier to it. Don't you give me that look. There is a heavy, heavy look of disapproval right now. At least we'll give it a whirl, see how it goes. If at the end of the session you really, really, really don't like it and can't adjust to it, I will highly consider the notion of reverting back and letting you roll. Okay?
Okay.
Jess is only doing this to you because I started enforcing the Pathfinder rules on Saturdays.
It hurt my soul.
What soul?
So just for shits and giggles, roll me a d20. Just roll a d20 for me.
14.
Okay. Okay. As far as you know, you're stealthy.
Okay. So I'm gonna just keep going along the wall, just walking up to the
All right.
edge.
About halfway, you hear a click as you stand on the pressure plate, and a spear from the left wall comes flying out. You take 7 points of damage, piercing damage, and you literally have a spear going through one side and coming out of the other. It hurts. It really fucking hurts.
You
Come
just see
on,
me
2
biting my
health. I don't want to see your face.
Would
3.
would Beck have heard that?
Yes. You heard the the whelp and the cry of a tabaxi getting impaled.
In the loudest whisper I can muster. Are you okay?
I don't know if he can see what I'm doing. I just
Um, he can see there's enough light to show.
I'm just biting onto one of my fingers.
Oh, I don't think you'd be able to stomach. If you want to keep it quiet, um, go
I would like
ahead
to try
and
and keep it
roll
quiet.
me. You're gonna try and keep it quiet. Go ahead and roll
Mhm.
me. Uh, Go ahead and roll me just a d20. 10.
10.
It's not as quiet as you would have liked, but it's also not the loudest that it could have been. There is definitely some grunts and disapproval and displeasure, with a little bit of cursing at a slightly more than a loud whisper. And you are still, as a matter of fact, full blown impaled. If
Mhm.
anything, the spear is mere inches away from connection with the wall. If it was any further, you would have literally be stuck. And you would have to turn sideways on and move through the corridor that way. Otherwise, the spear would be grazing against the wall.
I just look back at him and I'm like, I point at him and I point down the hall.
Alright, it's just
Because
shy
I
of the
still don't know his name.
just shy of the 2 hour mark. We're gonna take a quick break. Alright, that was a very good break. Usually I'd keep it recording, but for the sake of the first episode, we'll see how everything goes cut up. If you like it,
That-
stay like that.
That was also a very long break.
It was also a very long break.
Broken conversation in the recording though.
Yeah, there's definitely mentioning ego stroking, cheeky nuggies, and alcohol.
And background guitar practice.
Mm-hmm.
Really good guitar practice.
Yep. Alright, so, I hope you guys at home took a break, had a drink, drained the old liquid punch bag, and stretched. Now we're in for probably another 2, maybe slightly longer hours, so about roughly halfway, because we started the session a little bit later than expected. First session issues, yay! But it's cool. So, where did we go before the break? What happened?
I got stabbed.
Ah, yes, you got shanked by a spear. Full blown, no fucks given spear through your entire body. What are we doing? Cat kebab.
This is. We also left off with me pointing to. Uh, I still don't know his name, but pointing to dragon-looking dude, and then
Hmm.
pointing down the rest of the hallway.
Ah, yes. Back.
How are you doing?
I don't want to talk about it.
That stick wasn't there when you left, was it?
What the fuck do you think?
Can you get back here?
Maybe. I I don't know. This is really painful.
The torch that Beck has, is it like a torch? Is it like a hooded lamp? Like torching the
It's a torch.
Is there a sconce near the doorway that I could maybe set it in or something so that
The
I
only
don't?
sconce is the one that where you got it from.
All right, then I suppose I will meander down the hallway to my furry friend.
Okay. Feel free to move your token. As
Um,
you approach your furry friend, your new furry found friend, uh, you hear what sounds like a ruckus uh, bounce off the walls, like there's a whole large group of people approaching from somewhere that you can't distinguish, but the echo is getting louder and louder and louder. It almost sounds like kind of like a very rowdy pub.
Would we have heard the clunk from Orpheus? Orpheus.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Cause I'm a noisy fucker.
Perception. What's that? That's a 6.
There was so much going on you couldn't really distinguish what you heard.
Beck made an 18.
You, however, would have heard a bit earlier on the echoes of chains being rattled and loud thunks ringing and bouncing off the walls that seemed to have approached from an easterly direction from your current position.
Got it. Beck is going to use one of his 2d6s for his healing.
Okay. Wait, what? You're gonna use what now?
Healing light.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a natural ability I have.
Okay. So how are we healing? Because remember, we're doing it ever so differently from normal.
And I saw it stick in me.
You,
Well,
you, you,
first
go on.
I'm going to break the end that doesn't have the pointy side on it
Yep,
to the best of my ability, so that it's nice and short.
yep.
I'm gonna grab close to the pointy end and pull it the rest of the way through.
You're gonna have to make a survival check.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, survival check and a medicine. So, yeah, two rolls. Survival and medicine.
I'm sorry ahead of time. Which one did you want first?
The survival.
It's a flat 15.
Okay. Quick. Little bit of pain. Not enough to do any damage, but you definitely feel the weight shift.
And a flat 12 for the medicine check.
All right. That wasn't quite enough to be through and through. But it's a little bit slow to start with, grasping the strength. The more you pull, the more lubricated it becomes with blood, and it gets easier to pull out. And you hear the sloshy sounds. Luckily enough, it missed anything important. Luckily, um, but it still fucking hurts like a bitch, and you take the only point of health you have left as damage, and you pass the fuck out into the realm of unconsciousness. And as you did that, the sounds are getting louder and louder and louder. At this point, they're about. Let me see. Let me see. It's about 30 feet away from you, just around the corner. There's a whole bunch of like high pitched cackling and rowdy behavior going on. And that, what are we doing?
Um, the two checks were prior to me rolling the d6 for
Yep,
providing
yep, yep.
back. So now that Catmandu is currently unconscious, I'm going to go ahead and finish that healing light
Yep,
so
yep.
that we see how much health he regained.
Dude, you just made Graf laugh to a pun. You get mad props.
Do you already have a D10 inspiration?
I do.
Okay.
I
You get a
probably
you
should.
get a you get a D10 inspiration to pass to a player of your choosing.
I'm gonna give it to my cat friend here.
Okie dokie. And that's based purely on the fact that you made somebody laugh who despises puns.
It was involuntary too. I could not resist that one.
Alright, so what's the health looking?
That's what I'm double checking. I think it's just a flat 3. I don't think that I get a charisma bonus on it.
Okay. So, upon passing out very quickly, you take a sharp inhale of life, and you're not quite as on death's door as you were. You're still in some excruciating pain, but with time and regular maintenance, you should make a full recovery. And that's these voices are still very, very close, and you see uh, green-like creatures with red eyes completely run past the gap in the corridor, and they start circling round where you saw the bars.
So they're circling down on this side of the bars or on the
Yes,
other side?
circling along the outside.
Ew. Are they looking up towards us?
They don't seem to be. They seem to be preoccupied with other things going on at the moment due to the level of rowdiness that it is. But is it a chance you're willing to take?
Mm, right now, no.
So what are we doing?
I. Hmm. I'm gonna come back over to here where
Okay.
I can still see down, but I'm not
Yep.
in the
Yep.
hallway.
Back. All right. You move as well. All right. That's where we'll leave you two. Um. Himbo and short shit.
I'm a get out and stand up.
Yep.
Do you want to get out too?
Yeah, that would be nice. Hey, DM, I'm scanning the walls. I'm expecting to see some kind of anchor that they use to hoist my cage to the ceiling. Can I see such thing?
Um. The anchor is above you. Like.
So the offline conversation we had was, how do they get these cages down to put people in them?
Right, because it's 10 feet off the ground. Like, nobody's reaching that shit. If, however, they use a pulley system to yank those cages up 10 feet off the ground, then one could say that you could lower the cage as well.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Can I have advantage because I have a blue mushroom?
No.
It's worth asking.
We'll
That's
wait
not
till
what
the
that's
himbo
for.
notices what that actually is.
Oh no, please don't try and eat the mushroom. Please don't try and eat the mushroom.
That's a shit roll.
What'd you roll?
7.
7. There isn't an anchor per se, but towards the ceiling you do notice a darker strip, uh, a horizontal strip along the ceiling, and inside it looks to be more chain.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me.
It would basically look like as if it was there's a
It's
control
hidden.
mechanism somewhere that would
Okay.
use cogs and stuff to lower it and raise it.
It's hidden so that it's not readily evident how to get in and out, so that people
I
don't do the things I did.
I am. Hey, how far apart are the bars?
For you, you can comfortably put an arm through and
But
still
not,
have breathing space.
but not a torso.
With a check, you might.
Right. Well, I'm prone on the floor of my cage,
Yep.
and I've got my mushroom in hand, and I'm leaning out so that I can provide light for the himbo.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, you've got to get the sword off his belt, and anything else that looks shiny or sharp or important.
Okay.
Corpse at your feet.
Uh, shiny. Ooh, sharp.
It's a crude dagger.
It's shiny and sharp.
Yep.
Sharper than your fist. Sharper than your wits.
Absolutely.
Good job, buddy. Good job.
Hand up, because I'm 6'6", so my reach up is
Yes,
like
absolutely.
No. You hold on to that. I can't do much with that from here. We got to get me down first.
I reach up to like grab parts of the grate and try to bend it,
Make a
but
make a
not
strength check.
really try to bend it.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, I'm reaching.
Yeah.
Like I'm testing how hard it is. So
Okay.
that'll be a 12.
As you test the strength and the integrity of the bars, they do bend a little bit. Just it's a little flexible. So although you stretch it, it kind of shrinks back. You feel the resistance is still there.
I curl my knees up to my chest.
Oh, fucking course you do. Swinging from the chandelier.
It's okay. It's all right. Listen, I didn't want you to do that anyways. Give me just a second. So, what do you want me to try? Athletics, or because I'm gonna try and squeeze through those bars.
Okay.
Suck it all in.
It would be an athletics check.
I'm gonna uncurl back to feet on floor.
Okay.
Because if little person is telling me no,
As you attempt this, you get a shoulder through and past your shoulder, and then when it comes to a breast, your breast is kind of what's stopping you there.
I didn't have these when I went to sleep. That's interesting. Okay. Uh,
50 years is a long time.
50
Wait.
years is a long time.
that's not how boobs work.
She was very,
Not for a
very,
second.
very young when she got in
Boobs
here.
get saggy when you get old.
She didn't
Saggy
have
when she
boobs.
Right, but if her boobs are now present, it would be saggy and it would just move to the side.
I mean, to a degree, yeah. But there's also been. It's fine.
I'm
There's, al-
sorry, I broke the road.
there's also rust and zero lubrication.
I broke the rogue.
And I'm not used to boobs, so like it was. The
You
whole
don't know
thing
how
was
boobs function.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
want me to pull you?
I, we don't have much choice. We might as well try.
This
Do you
could
want me
end
to
very,
actually?
very, very badly.
Wait,
Really,
did the head get through?
No, it was shoulder and then it got to about there.
Oh god. So for anybody listening in right now, Ashley, me, I'm a nurse. I oh my boy is dumb.
This is gonna hurt if you're doing what I think you're gonna do.
I'm so scared.
You should be.
I really am. I'm so very scared. Hey, can you at least maybe to poke your head out and see if anybody's coming before we make more loud noises? Like I'm about to pee myself scared with this whole idea.
I'm about to pee myself laughing.
And meanwhile, the resident Catmandu rogue is still pissing himself laughing.
I'm imagining a halfling's head just tingling under the cage.
And then this is what happens when you allow your players to partake
Deep breath, Ash, deep breath.
in the puff puff give.
Okay. Keeping my arms up but letting go of the cage. Actually,
Okay.
no, not letting go of the cage.
Oh my god.
Turn. Oops. Let go of the cage.
As you turn, you hear it as the chains give way, and about half the chain collapses, and
Ow.
you are now holding a cage.
And I'm I'm holding the bars like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
This is like everybody's nightmare on one of those swing rides.
That but can you put me down?
Sorry. And I pull.
Oh no, you're already holding the cage. The chains came
Right, no,
off.
I don't know that the chains are off all the way.
No, you
I
do.
just know that suddenly I'm holding it because it fell towards me. Mine fell a little bit. This one apparently fell all the way down. So my experience is this cage goes from
No, it went. It literally, as you twisted, it went, and you literally felt the debris of the chains hit you. You're now holding it with two hands, and it just went
yeah, I'm
bam.
dumb.
Okay, but can you put me down, please? Gently. Gently.
Sure. And then I like hand over hand slowly move it down.
Okay.
So, you know the
I get halfway down before I'm like, huh.
you know the small creature in the back of the cage hyperventilating image? Yeah, that's me right now.
Now you can look outside.
Let's get me out of the cage first.
I hold cage forward to look outside.
Oh my god, just stick it
Ah.
in the cage.
All right, hold on.
Oh dear fuck.
That's a good time to cut to the other people because I'm gonna laugh a lot now.
I know, actually.
At this point, go ahead and make a perception check, both of you.
Oh my god.
I'm not trying to perceive anything.
No, I know I'm not. I know you're not. Okay, okay, well, that kind of covers for you both anyway.
That's good.
That's not.
What did you get?
I rolled a 1.
You're fucking oblivious to your current surroundings.
To be fair, yes.
Genie, what you hear is a whole bunch of maniacal laughing, giggling, very loud crowd approaching from somewhere in the south, and the footsteps and the excitement seems to be approaching rather quickly. And you also see multiple shadows on the floor as several handfuls of goblins like creature run straight past with torches ready, really exciting, all surrounding themselves along the outside of the
I
outside of the
imagine
bars.
you patting on the bar saying, put me back, put me back. Put me back.
Exactly what's happening next. Yes, literally word for
I
word.
know you so well. I pull the cage back to me.
I know that's where we'll leave you two.
Oh my god.
All right. Ice breath and cat kebab.
Former cat kebab. You can see that far down the hallway. What was it you were pointing at down there?
I was. There's a ring of bars that there are now people surrounding.
Fun.
Yeah, and I'm in no shape to take care of them because, and I just do
Yep.
pointing towards the wound that is currently in my side.
All right. Well, I can do healing light one more time until I take a short rest.
Save it in case we need it later.
I can still also cast cure wounds.
With how many people or how many people could I see? Because like I can see all the way.
Okay,
Down
go
to
ahead
the-
and make an investigation check. from an educated and calculated quick count through, you could see at least 10, 15 minimum. And you know that the sounds, you know that the numbers don't justify the sounds.
So there's a lot of them. We're not going to want to go out there.
And all you hear through the also sound warning for those who are slightly audio sensitive. This is going to get slightly high pitched. All you can hear in the sounds of the cave is who's gonna die? And then all of a sudden you hear a loud, booming voice across the entire place. Silence! Sorry, I did say. hmm in the
You said high
same tone.
pitched.
Sorry, in the same tone and the same volume. Uh, it's an introductory. This actually is in a language that a lot of you, half of you, might not understand. For those that understand Draconic, it is basically an introduction to what is essentially Friday Night Fight Night. And there is a mention of a pit fiend, and winner takes all, winner wins freedom kind of scenario. And all you hear is bring in the himbo. At that point, you see shadows along the wall, um, and they manifest and crawl their way up the wall, and you see two guards come in and approach your direction.
I shove the cage with my little friend towards
Oh,
them.
oh God, oh God.
Wait,
I'm holding the little friend in front of me.
Are we back to us?
No, it was us that we were talking about.
It's still them at this point.
Yeah, but that's what you see happen.
They don't see you.
Oh, wow.
You guys are
That's
literally on the
really
opposite sides
crazy.
of the prison still. And I also
So
saw the lovely bird that you gave me.
As soon as as soon as this started, I knew what was happening. I'm so glad I have this.
uh, what all was in their torturers thing?
Blunt torture tools. It could be used as crude weapons.
Oh,
So, rusty hook, rusty blades, rusty needles. The kind of stuff that you advise your children not to pick up in the streets.
okay. Uh, I'm like, so we see the two guards coming up the hallway towards us.
Sorry, no. As I said to them, they, I was referring to, uh, Lanky and Shorty.
Okay. I thought we were still at us, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm still gonna stay here.
Okay.
I have some question. Uh, do they look like guards? I'm
Um,
asking because
you do see, one guard, but he doesn't turn in your direction. He turns around and faces the ring.
So I would be relaying this to
You
Icy
you'd be yeah. This is what you would be seeing, and then you'd relay the information to him.
Mhm.
Whereas Beck would have understood everything that was mentioned.
And with that, because I kitty cat, I don't understand dragon. I turn and look at person who looks like a dragon, and I say, you understand? Because I'm like, I don't know if he actually what the language was. Do you understand, Icy Boy?
Yes, and based on the description of the one guard, I'm thinking that this may be some kind of organized event. Never really got into sports, so I'm not exactly certain, but I'm pretty sure that there's uh, some kind of sporting event about to happen.
Got it.
And that's where we'll leave you two. How are we doing over there, Orpheus?
I've shoved a cage at the guards that have approached me.
So when you say shove, they're still out of distance. They're approaching towards you. There is still a bit of distance between you and aforementioned guards.
And I've asked you to pull me back in.
Right, I pulled you back in,
Okay, good.
which means I would probably be, yeah, about there. Okay, do I see the guards?
Yep, they're about rough.
When they
They're about roughly
when
your
they're within
size.
5 feet, I'm shoving this cage into.
She's using me as a battle weapon.
Yep.
I'm using you as a shield.
Oh my god.
They'll break the cage open then. Like, this is Ashley speaking. They'll break the cage open.
I'm going to, as a 12-year-old person, pee myself. What the hell are you doing?
And as a 60-year-old person, you might pee yourself too.
I hate you. I hate you so much. Okay, what's
Age
the person
puns.
do they see us? Are they coming? I got lost in thought.
They actually they just you have the little bit of the wall to your advantage, so you hear the footsteps coming, and they don't really
They're
see.
otherwise occupied.
Yeah, they're making their way over. They're about
Okay.
10 feet away from the other side of the wall that you're currently on.
Pull me back in. Pull me back in. Step back into the room. We can hide. They might pass us by. We can get some time.
Go ahead and
Let's
make a
do.
stealth check, both of you.
I was gonna say me or him. What is stealth?
Dexterity. Oh, that's not bad.
What'd you get?
I rolled an 18 with a +1.
Dirty 20. All right.
I got 19.
That was actually better than I expected.
I got +2 on dex.
So you hear the footsteps, and you hear a conversation in the same harsh language. Aries lost connection. We lost Aries
What?
temporarily. In Fantasy Grounds. Um, you hear a conversation in the same harsh tongue that you conversed in before. So who's your money on tonight? And then the other one responds with, "Who the fuck do you think? You saw what that guy looked like when he came in. Couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag."
And a metal one.
And at that point, they turn the corner. They notice that the cages are no longer where they're supposed to be. Instead, they see one. Uh, they see one on the floor, and you hear, "That's the paper bag, right?" It's like, yes. Well, then we have an issue on our hands. And they run back to report what they've just heard. And there is a sense of urgency. And all of a sudden, the entire place is ushered out. And you hear the same booming voice. And you hear cracks of whips. The guards pull out and make sure that everybody's out. and we give it maybe 2-3 minutes, and the entire place is dead again, and you hear the same sounds that you heard before.
Okay, I missed a very important word when they said that's the what?
That's
Paper,
the paper bag.
paper bag,
Oh, okay. All right. I'm
They
even
think
more
I'm on a
scared.
run.
an irony paper bag.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm even more scared of my cellmate. This is great. This is fine. I'm fine. Jeannie,
So,
you're okay.
so congratulations, you are now officially two escaped convicts.
I would have been fine just hanging out for a little bit, learning some things, making a plan. No, this is fine. Jeannie, you're okay. Deep breaths. We can get through this.
If we're going
Uh,
by like
You're
GTA,
talking a lot.
if we go by like GTA, you guys are probably about 2.5 wanted level right now.
You're doing the talk thing again.
Like, I almost don't hear him, and I'm still panicking.
I can reach my hand through the bars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reach my hand through and flicker in the forehead.
Hi. Okay. We're in a lot of trouble. They're coming for you, and I'm still in here, and we need to get out now.
Oh,
They're gonna.
you're off the ceiling.
That's good. Good. Yes. We're still in a prison, and now there are people looking for you, and apparently they're scared, which is okay. I'm not scared. It's fine.
You're scared.
I'm a lot scared. Can we try to maybe break the lock or something?
As she's talking, I'm trying to pry the things.
Strength check.
I did that.
Okay. What'd you get?
Dirty 20.
All right. When you're pulling the bars apart, one actually breaks free. The other one gives a little bit of leeway and bends, but there's enough space at this point for, you know, a skinny slide.
I set her down and put my hand over the sharp bit.
Oh my god.
Aww.
Hold on. Let me just roll a charisma check. 23.
Oh my god.
You can definitely feel the warm sentiment provided by a big dummy.
Okay. All right. We can do this. We got this. And
Just walk on my arm.
I basically use the bars of my cage as steadying, and I climb up to his shoulder, and I'm like, okay, we can do this.
Okay, so once she's clear, I'm gonna do this and reach up and pat on top of her head. It's okay.
You're hurting. Can I cure wounds? Can I try to help?
Oh my god, yes, please.
Where's my inspiration?
He says in that like super soft, strained voice. Does he have a deity? No, because his father is Apollo.
Spoiler alert for your backstory.
So I got 4.
Is that how much health I get?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
4 points.
You feel some of the cuts and bruises ease, but you're still.
Wait, the way that I lay on hands, because I'm up on his shoulder, right?
Mhm.
He's got his hand on my head, right?
Mhm.
I put both my little hands on his hand on top of my head, and I close my eyes and I concentrate.
Like you're constipated?
Well,
All right.
That's adorable.
This is actually the first spell that you've ever actually cast, and it actually happens better than you expected, given that you've had problems channeling druidic magic before. when you
No
were
shit,
growing
that's
up.
why I'm concentrating.
Yep.
Please don't poop on my shoulder.
You can't my things, it's fine.
Oh god, I'm almost tempted to make you roll for that. Um,
I might puke a little, but that's fine. It's
you
only
feel a
fun.
warm
That's
liquid.
typical.
You feel a warm liquid roll down your back as a few of the abrasions begin to sting, and
Please tell me this is not actually happening.
yep,
You do it.
you mentioned it. If you hadn't mentioned it, I wouldn't have carried on. But as she touches your hand and concentrates, a little bit of pee does escape, and you feel a couple of your abrasions sting worse than they were before. But hey, it's sterile, right? And you feel some others begin to close up and stop bleeding. You feel a little more refreshed, but you're still incredibly sore, and the massive stab wound on your back does shrink a little bit,
When
and
you
that
said it was
feels
more
good.
effective than she expected, does that mean I get more health back?
No,
Damn.
that was
No,
purely
I expected
that was
nothing
purely
to
for
happen.
context for her.
Okay.
I genuinely expected nothing to happen. How does that feel? Any better? Did it help?
Uh. Okay.
I blush really hard but say nothing.
That's so gross.
You should have mentioned it.
I mean, the way she looks on Discord, I wish the people listening could see that because she looked like a child that's constipated.
I hate you. I hate you both.
No, you really don't.
Uh,
Yeah, good
I want.
DM.
I want to. Okay, so I asked you if you spit, but so you've got the sword.
It's a,
How
it's
this
a
is
crude knife.
a toothpick.
it's okay. Well, I mean, I'm small, so it's pretty big to me. But you got a sharp thing, and you got me out. We're doing good.
How do we get out of here?
I have no idea. So I pull out my mushroom and I say, I guess we're just gonna have to start looking because we can't
Can,
stay here.
can you see without that thing?
Nope.
Also, I forgot to mention on the two guards at Turner. Go ahead. We'll quickly backtrack just a hot second. Go ahead and make. Actually, even with your passive perception, you should be able to get this. Let me just. Yeah, absolutely. You do see what looks to be a smoker's pipe on his side as he turned around and walked off.
Son of a bitch.
There is also a faint whiff that you very, very, very easily notice.
Motherfucking son of a bitch. Oh,
You're mean.
And that's how you get a player hooked.
God, I hate you so much.
How long have we been rolling for? Alright, cool.
Okay,
It
well,
smells good. It gives you
I'm
a brief moment of clarity.
oh yeah, I'm just gonna. So I'm sitting on big guy's shoulders,
Yep.
and the noise has gone which direction?
It
I mean,
traveled back south.
okay, so all right. So as far as I know, everybody is down south. But I have no idea. I don't remember even coming in this place. I was not conscious, so I have no idea which way to go. We do need to at least leave this room. So let's poke out and see.
I'm. And then I look down. Why don't you
have to put me down.
I pick up with 2 hands. Please keep your arms and legs with inside the hands at all times. And then I lift up, hoist up very little, and then set down very gingerly.
Welcome back, former cat kebab.
The artist formerly known as.
Are you good?
He looks upset, probably because the internet went poop. Yeah, I'm not
If
I'm not gonna make
Computer.
Orpheus follow, so
that's fine, go on.
Computer is being really fucky right now.
Is it too hot? I'll edit all this bit out.
Let me see how hot she's getting.
Technical issues. Gotta love them.
this is Orpheus also learning that he's big.
She's small.
That's not stealthy.
That's fine. That's fine.
I will say it doesn't feel hot to the touch at all.
Okay.
Are
All
there
right.
any rats or bats nearby?
You still hear the scuttling and the flapping of wings, you know, in brief periods. Not so much as the bats anymore, considering they all kind of got scared off with the amount of rowdy noise that came in. But you definitely hear what sounds like the scuttling of activity on the ground here and there.
And since I'm close to the ground,
7980.
I'm going to be on the lookout for any rodent that I can find, because I will be using my second spell, Speak with Animals, to have a quick chat.
Okay. So feel free to move your token, or do you want me to move it for you?
I'm not
All right.
going far.
Yep, yep. Couple of minutes go by, and you do see one approach from a very tiny hole in the left side of the wall, and he kind of stops, like dead in the middle, looking for scraps.
Okay. Can I cast Speak with Animals?
Okay.
Going to offer a simple rat greeting.
How would one greet a rat?
Well, if you were a rat, it would be with sniffing.
Okay.
But I'm just going to say, hi there, friend. I need a little help. Can you help us find a hole big enough for a human to escape? We need to get out. Some kind of door or hole or secret passage. I don't care. I need to get out. We have to get out. Can you help us?
He looks at you for a brief moment, stands up on his hind legs, and does rat things, sniffing the air.
Yeah.
Um, he patters a little closer to you, sees your hairy legs, and nopes out.
Okay. No harm, no foul. All right, little buddy, I understand. Meanwhile, to myself, fuck.
It's progress though, considering you've never really tried to speak to an animal. You at least know you got its attention.
Yeah, I mean, I talk to them. I don't necessarily try to speak with them, being a farmer's daughter, you know.
Mhm.
Well, I back up into the cell to talk to my large friend.
Yep.
I had hoped to be able to sniff out an exit, but I'm not gonna see it, and I don't feel comfortable leaving you here and going alone. I'm not big and strong like you are. It's pretty small, and I like show my arms and how not big they are.
He looks super bashful.
Pimples, like full-blown pimples. Not very muscular at all.
and small bead.
It's like
He looks
watching a 5-year-old trying to show off to their parents about how strong they are.
he looks super bashful at being told that he's big and strong. But then he starts to tear up.
You can stay behind me, but I really want you close. I can't do this by myself.
He just
I reach up
silently.
and take his hand.
Oh, he does not pull away, but he just silently nods as a tear falls down his face and drips onto your hand.
I take my other hand and pat the top of his giant hand. And then
Wholesome shit
start
is
walking down
wholesome.
the hall.
And that's where we'll leave you two. Back to Icy Boy and former cat kebab. What are we doing? You did hear the entire conversation of somebody missing and the very swift evacuation and the crack of whips. You're muted.
Would I see anyone down at the end of the hall anymore?
No, it's completely barren.
Okay. This time, I want to go back down the hall,
Okay,
but I want to keep an eye out for traps.
okay. Well, I will let you look for traps with advantage, considering you already triggered one. So you know to expect one.
Wait, do you want me to roll?
That would be an investigation check.
And dumb question. Is there a way to roll advantage in Fantasy Grounds?
Yes. So
Roll
next
for
to
it.
your modifier, in the bottom left of the screen, you'll see adv and dis. Click add.
And you said investigation.
Um, as you journey way down the corridor, you obviously see the same trap that you triggered, and you notice that the plate has reset. But beyond that, the rest of the corridor looks clean.
Okay. I'm gonna walk down this side this time.
Okay. There's
Until
honestly
I get
there's not much space. So when you are going, you are literally like an inch from stepping on the plate. That's because it's in the middle. The way that the map is presented in the squares, it's a little difficult. So it's like the actual thing is in a 5 foot spot, but in actual fact you have like maybe 1 to 2 feet.
Oh, okay.
So it's a close shave, but you make it. All right, welcome to the end of the corridor. Holy shit. I love to see those kind of looks from my players. All right, so you're at the end of the
Oh, I
corridor.
Clear?
can see far. Holy fuck me.
Yeah, you get 60 feet.
Cat, is it clear?
I I I do thumbs up.
Okay.
Can't see.
He actually can't.
I don't know those. I just do thumbs up and I say yes.
I think he's speaking common.
Yes, I'm speaking common.
Yeah, no, but
Common is my native tongue.
I think I think the dragon is also speaking common. You have been conversing with him.
Hmm. So I'm holding up a thumbs up and say yes, even though
Okay.
I don't know if he can see it or not.
Okay.
And I don't see anything down a little bit. I peer out a little bit. Yeah.
All right.
Do I see anything down this way?
It's a nice looking corridor for where you currently are. Uh, but even with basic observation skills and your passive perception of, I believe, 10, 12, 12,
12.
you do see a suit of armor stood dead in the middle here.
Like a suit of armor on someone, or
No,
just
it's just. It, well, okay, if you want to investigate further, it's going to require an investigation check.
13?
It doesn't. It just looks to be like a shell, like of some armor. Doesn't really seem to be anybody in there, you know.
Hmm. So, AC boy, where do you want to go? We can either go to the south
That'd be the south.
or
Yep.
to the east.
Back.
Sorry, I was pushed to talk and I forgot to push. The loud banging noise that I heard earlier.
Yep.
Which direction did I?
Easterly.
So then I would want to go towards the east.
Okay. Oh, that far.
Yeah, you have 60 fucking feet, dude.
I
Just be grateful you're not a dark elf. That would really blow your mind. 120 feet of dark vision. He's kicking himself now.
because you remember when I was choosing. What were my two options?
Dark elf at the backseat,
Oh,
and you chose the kitty cat. All right. So as you two journey along, as you look, as you have the torch and you're moving past the barriers, you actually see what looks to be a blood fest of an arena. And you do see some torches, like some form of light approach uh from the center of the pit. It's a little bit sporadic, and the shadows you can't quite make out, but you know that there's some light down there. Um, Along the easterly passage, you see a couple of benches which are clearly uh at this point as a spectator area. On the left, it kind of looks like sleeping quarters, maybe. And it doesn't take you too long before you get as you progress, you do see uh, a left turn, that you can see a light in the distance, but you can also see that the passage continues to the east as well. You're muted.
I know I was.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to just keep hearing me saying, that's really far.
What are we doing?
I want to keep going down the hallway.
Okay. Let me double check something. Okay. Are you following back?
Yep.
All right. At this point, Genie, you see a torch of light. You see a light begin to get brighter and brighter and approach your direction. With it, you see. In fact, you went sneaky and you rolled that. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Uh,
Not you, Genie.
okay.
Okay. You see. You actually just meet the DC for that. You see. You're a black cat, right? You see a anthro looking kitty cat who thinks he's being all sneaky, with a silver dragon, with a silver dragon-like figure behind him, walking your direction. The dragonborn is the one that is carrying a torch.
And they're not dressed like guards.
They are definitely not dressed like guards, and they definitely look like they crawled out of hell itself along with you two. You also see that the kitty cat has suffered some heavy damage.
I look up at my big friend, and then I look out into the hallway, and I psst, psst, hey.
Do we hear it?
I don't know, do you?
Perception?
Yep. You hear at this point it's quite distinct, because it's bouncing off the walls. Beck, you can definitely hear it, and you know exactly where it's coming from. And before we go any further, I am going to go ahead and call it there. I think that is a wonderful place to call it, just so you can hate me that little bit more that you don't actually get to speak to each other today.
It's true.
I mean, I think we got a lot farther than you thought we were gonna get.
You did. I had to think on the spot to implement a couple of delaying strats. Because if I had it my way, you still would have been in the cages by the end of the session. I had an entire roleplay segment lined out, and apparently y'all didn't want that, so I had to, adapt and change as a DM does.
And I got stabbed for it.
Naturally.
I patched you up. I mean, I'm no surgeon.
It was very Frankenstein-like patchwork.
And next week, we're probably gonna roll all ones.
God, I hope
Probably.
so. I hope fucking so.
I don't.
For those on the listening end, thank you very much for joining. I have been DFG, also known as Jess. You can find me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/DatFailGamur. All links will be provided in the description on the YouTubes, where you'll also find this video, youtube.com/DatFailGamur if you're not already here and you're listening on other platforms when it finally gets there. I have been joined by Aries, a good long-time friend and viewer of mine, Ashzification, again, who is also my Pathfinder DM on a Saturday. So it's nice to be able to dish out as what I've been getting recently, especially with my fucking dice rolls. And of course, another long-term friend, Graphoniac, and of course, a newcomer, uh, I has messages, eh, Joey Two Pants, who is also amongst my compadres in arms on a Saturday. As I said at the very beginning, these were very selected, hand-picked, based on synergy, similar age and maturity levels. This has been
The 12-year-olds.
this has been an amazing start. I'm thoroughly liking where this is going. This is not how I imagined the first session to go, but it was awesome. And with that,
Okay,
I'm out.
bye.
Goodbye.
Toodles!
Bye.
Everybody.